Alright. Hey guys, welcome back. In this one I've got a Poulan Pro. It's got the 24 Briggs in it. It's hydrostatic. The owner of this particular mower, he called me and said that he was pretty sure he blew the head gasket in it. Now I know we just did a ride and more video, but I thought this was a good opportunity to learn something here. He seems pretty convinced that it's the head gasket, and I don't think it is. He said he was using it and he bogged it down in a wet spot in his yard, and he was kind of beating on it, trying to get it out of there. And he said it just started smoking and blowing oil out of the exhaust and all that. So he shut it down, and I brought it home, and all I've done really is looked at it. But the reason that I think that's not the issue, and I'll show you here. I don't know how well you can see this on camera, but I checked the oil in it, and there's fluid in it, but it's super clean. So I smelled it, and it's full of gasoline. So we learned something from the last video. If you remember the John Deere back there, I almost grenaded the motor because I didn't check to make sure that there was no gas in the oil. So anyway, I think what happened is when he was fighting with it to get it out, get it unstuck, my guess is the carburetor, something tweaked, the float stuck, or the needle and seat stuck, or something happened that caused the crankcase to flow with gasoline. I don't think it's a motor problem. From my experience, you generally don't have blown head gaskets with air-cooled motors. Again, from my experience, it's a pretty rare thing. So until I find out differently, I'm gonna lean toward that's not the problem. But anyway, let me get set up. My plan, what I want to do, I'm gonna go ahead and take the carburetor off and go through it. I know it's been sitting, but I don't know exactly how long. So I'm just gonna do a general go through on the carb, make sure everything's clear, and I'm gonna drain the oil and crankcase. I'm gonna fill it back up, fresh oil, new filter. While that's going on, I'll work on the carb. We'll get it all back together, put some fresh gas in it, and see what happens. But let me get set up, and I'll bring you back. So that's what's coming out of the crankcase. Almost nothing but gasoline. Got the filter off. I just wanted you to hear this. So yeah, so there's some gas in there. I got all the oil drained out, got the filter off. Let me get all that situated. I'll get it back down, and we'll start getting into the carb. Alright guys, so I got the oil drain, got a new filter, new oil put back in it. It's not quite all the way full, but for what we're going to do, I just want to run it for a few minutes and kind of flush everything out. And then I'm going to drain it again and, change everything over again. But so we got that done. I wanted to do that while I was thinking about it, so we didn't try to crank it with no oil in it. But now we need to get the cover off. And of course there's two at the back that you got to get with a wrench. But anyway, you get the idea. Let me get that off, and we'll get back to it. We'll get the carb snatched off. Alright, so here's where we're at. I got the cover off. I got this rod disconnected, and I unhooked the solenoid. So I think what I want to do before I take this all the way off is just get the bowl off and kind of see what we've got. I already broke them loose. Because like I said before, I don't think there was any issue with this carb other than maybe the needle sticking, or it could have been that solenoid that was bad too. But get you in here and see if you can see this. I'm making a mess. Let me dump it out. Hang on. So if you look right where that solenoid comes in at, it's pretty cruddy right there. Now this mower did what it did while it was running, so the whole time that you've got power to that solenoid, it pulls back out of the way. So that malfunctioning wouldn't have caused what he described. But I do want to get this cleaned out, and I'm going to see, I don't know if you can see it there. There's the float hanging. So I want to play with that a little bit and make sure everything's freed up in there. And I don't think I'm going to go to the trouble of taking it all the way apart, because I think it's fine. Well, let me get that done, and I'll bring you back in. Okay guys, so we got that pretty well cleaned out. The float assembly just kind of pops out of the bottom, so I wanted to get it apart and see kind of what we got there. Actually looks really good. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it, but it's super clean, no issues at all. And it's just a plastic housing that it sits in that's clear. I can see through it, but let's you know, while we're in there. I know you can't see anything I'm doing here. Let's see. Alright, I know it's really hard to see, but it's moving in there. It's doing what it's supposed to do, so let's get that thrown back in. Something else, yeah. We didn't talk about this last time, so I wanted to go over it this time. Alright, so that's where the plug goes, and basically what it is, like we talked about, as long as there's power running to the mower, when you shoot power to it, it pulls it back to allow fuel to go up into the carb. Alright, when you turn the power off, it's supposed to immediately shoot up into that jet and stop flow. But if you notice, it's sluggish. It should be pretty instantaneous, and you can feel it. There's all kinds of gunk in there, so what I want to do is kind of spray that. Sorry guys, bear with me, I don't want to get this crap in the camera. So let me keep playing with this, and we'll get everything put back in, and I'll bring you back in when we throw it all together. All right, real quick, guys, before we throw it all back together, I just wanted to show you the difference. So that should be good to go. All right, let's get set up and we'll get it all back together. All right, so I got everything put back together. I tried to crank it, and it's trying, but it just can't. It was blowing oil out everywhere out of the exhaust. So what I've done now, I've got the spark plugs out of it, and I've got the fuel line clamped off. So I'm just trying to turn it over and get everything blown out. It's pretty much stopped coming out of the muffler as best I can tell. Let's see. Go ahead and spin it over and let's. Yeah, so initially it was blowing it all the way across the building there. So let me, I'm going to do that a few more times and make sure I've got it clear. I'm going to put some decent spark plugs back in it, and I'll bring you back and we'll turn it over and see what we get. Alright, let's see what we got. Yeah, move. Let's let some gas flow, that might help. I don't know if you can see that, but it's pouring fuel out from under it, and I can't see from where. So again, let me figure out where we're dumping fuel at, and we'll go from there. All right, so off camera, I took the carb apart 3 different times. First time I did, I think, what you saw, just kind of blew it out and put it back together. That didn't work. It was just pouring gas out everywhere, running straight out of the exhaust. So I tore it apart again, cleaned it better. I didn't put an electronic cleaner, but it's pretty simple inside. So blew it out again, did all that good stuff, put it back together, put it back on the tractor, turned the fuel on, fuel went everywhere. So for the 3rd time I took it apart, and after 3 times I realized that the O-ring for the needle to seat in was missing. Yay friggin' me. Alright, so we got it in there, it's back together. I've got my bottle hanging, so I've bypassed what's in the tank because I have no idea how long this tractor sat. So I have the fuel turned on. Hopefully it's doing what it's supposed to do. So let me give her a shot and see what she does. Cross your fingers. If this isn't it, I'm burning it. well. Alright. Sometimes you just gotta know when to say when. I've done all I can do with a carb, so the next step is to get one on the way. I'm tired of messing with it. I'll throw a new carb on there. And we'll see if the thing wants to run or not. I don't even care at this point, but you know, I kind of told them I'd fix it. So yeah, let me get my hands on a new carb, and I'll be back. All right, change of plans, because I'm not a quitter on Tuesdays. So I screw with it a little bit more. I'll try it one more time. Alright, so I've been working on this stupid thing for like 6 hours now, but we got it. I'm going to put it all back together, take it outside, play with it, make sure it's doing what it's supposed to do, and then I'm going to come back in and drain the oil again and change the filter just to make sure all that's good. But give me a minute, let me get back together and we'll take it for a ride. Alright, so I changed my mind. I was going to pull it out there and clean it up and run it for you and all that good stuff, but let's be honest, nobody really cares. You've seen a push or a ride mower run and cut grass a million times. We achieved what we were trying to do. The whole point was, you know, just to kind of point out, maybe again save you some money in the future. The guy was pretty convinced that it was a blown head gasket. And in his defense, you know, if you Google the symptoms, that's one of the likely possibilities, but you know, head gasket's kind of a big deal, so you want to make sure that's it before you go tearing into it. Anyway, guys, I think I'm going to close this one out. You know, hopefully you got something out of it, and we'll move on to the next one. I bought another little project yesterday. I'm going to bring that out, share it with you guys, and see what you think. Get your opinion on what we should do with it. But anyway, as always, guys, I really appreciate let's try that again. Really appreciate you hanging out with me, and I hope you got something out of it, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks, guys. You all right?